Hi Cancer, I'm Honeymoth Tarot and today I'm going to be doing your May 2025 reading. Okie doke. So before we begin, I just want to tell you a little bit about the Scorpio full moon. So it should be happening around the 12th, 13th of May, kind of depends where you are in the world. And with the sign of Scorpio, there is usually an energy of transformation, rebirth, like deep kind of internal change. And then there can also be like an emphasis on more kind of taboo subjects like sexuality, mysticism, mystery, secrets, that sort of thing. But yeah, I will get into the reading. So we have the Eight of Swords, which I'm kind of feeling as though it's like some sort of self-sabotage. But then with the Emperor, which is Aries energy, by the way, I feel like this may be a controlling figure in your life that's kind of making you feel like you can't leave a situation. But yeah, like these two cards are giving me a very kind of stagnant, almost stubborn energy of like, this is the way that things have always been, so why should there be any change? Or it feels impossible to change because it's been a certain way for such a long time. Let's see what else pops out. Thank you. Then we have the Strength card, which is Leo energy. Yeah, I feel as though this is you wanting change or wanting to change. But I think okay, so as usual, I'm kind of getting different storylines. So I feel as though if this is like a controlling person in your life, especially like a partner, that's kind of got you feeling like negative about yourself, and is like lowering your self-esteem, I feel as though with the Strength card there needs to be compassion for yourself. But if it's kind of like deeper than that, in the sense of like your internal self is like your worst critic, then again there needs to be some sort of compassion here, and to like treat yourself gently as well, because I feel like with this Emperor there's like this high standard that you've given yourself, that it's like impossible to meet these high standards. But I feel like it's mainly you that kind of puts this standard on yourself. Feeling this card. So we have the Justice card, Libra energy. So I feel as though if this is a super controlling partner, you may be seeking legal advice, possibly divorce. Because I think, like, if this person is as controlling as, like, the shadow side of the Emperor can be, I feel like, you know, they may be keeping, like, money from you, or, like, assets, or, like, items that, you know, you own, but they're kind of keeping control of it. This person might be violent too with the Strength card now that I'm looking at it, or have some sort of, like, anger issues. But again, if it's not a partner and it's more of, like, your internal kind of perspective of yourself, I feel as though the Justice card is possibly seeking out some sort of moderator, or, like, somebody who thinks about things logically, maybe even a counselor, and kind of having conversations with them about the way that you've been feeling, these high standards that you've set on yourself, this self-sabotage kind of energy, and this deep judgment of self that I'm getting, and kind of getting them to unpick your thoughts, and maybe, yeah, looking at things from a more sort of logical perspective, rather than this kind of, like, clouded lens of judgment that I'm seeing. But yeah, overall it's all about honest communication. Okay. So what else for Cancer? Thank you. Okie doke. Pop it there, actually. So yeah, I feel as though with the partner read, this could be the splitting of assets, conflict, that division, you know, the divorce or, like, separation that I was talking about. But yeah, I feel like somebody may really throw their dummy out the pram because they don't get what they want. And I think if they are this Emperor energy, they are very used to getting what they want. So but, you know, as long as you have this, like, legal advice here, and then with regards to the inner work reading, there may be anger issues that need to be addressed, or perhaps this, like, need for control that you have, and so that is why there is, like, such a high standard here, because it's all about you know, feeling in control of your life. Sorry about the editing. I do kind of live with other people, so it was a bit noisy in the background. I figured you guys wouldn't want to hear it, so I just had to edit that out. So as I was saying with the other storyline, possible anger issues or, like, control issues that need to be addressed, or at least kind of looked at. But I don't think that there needs to be, like, any shame with it, because as I said, there is, like, this lens of, like, judgment. And so I think, like, the main kind of focus of this is to tackle any kind of, like, negative thinking or hardships with as much compassion as possible, and kind of that inner strength of allowing yourself to be vulnerable and also honest that the way that you've been kind of perceiving things is no longer working and it's not healthy for you. Okay, so anything else for Cancer? Take these three. Okay, so the Seven of Cups, and as I put this down, I got delusions. So yeah, I feel like maybe this like self-belief that of like this high standard that you will never be good enough, or what you kind of bring to the table as a person will never be good enough. And I think you've just been like focusing on it for such a long time that it's just become like this ingrained belief. This like constant striving for achievement and perfectionism. Then we have the Queen of Cups, which is you, right? Because Cups energy is all water. So yeah, I feel like it's this Emperor role, but it's nowhere near as harsh. It's a lot softer, it's a lot more compassionate, it's a lot more willing to be emotionally vulnerable and to make mistakes. And to not be so like downtrodden when things don't work out. And to not take it as personally either, is what I'm getting. Then we have the King. Yeah, I'm getting this like vibe of because of the skeletons beneath, it's kind of like laying the old self to rest, or laying coping mechanisms that no longer work to rest. Which I feel as though that definitely kind of relates to the Scorpio full moon energy in the month of May. Okay, so let me see what else. So we have the Wheel of Fortune. Some sort of completion, and I feel as though that is the not necessarily the full-on completion of you thinking about about yourself in a negative way, but I feel it's more the completion of being blind that you were thinking this way all of this time. Because I feel like it's not going to be completed for like quite a while, because as I said, this is like an ingrained belief, and I feel like that may take months, possibly even years, to kind of reprogram that. And I will also go back with the relationship reading that I was getting. Because as we said, there is like some sort of divorce or possible like separation here. I feel like this person may have substance issues, or issues with not seeing things in reality. But regardless with this, I feel as though there is a period of healing that is soon gonna kind of wash over you. And with this Wheel of Fortune, I feel like this is the final nail in the coffin, right? This ending to a controlling, and I know the word is overused, but I do kind of get like a toxic relationship from this top line here. Okay, so I'm gonna get a Moonology card. I hope you guys kind of manage to follow along with the reading, because I do often get multiple storylines, and so me going back and forth, I imagine that it can be quite confusing, but it's just the way that I read, so hopefully it was understandable enough. So can we get a Moonology for Cancer, please? So we have Don't Let Your Past Hold You Back. So yeah, I feel as though with the relationship reading, this person to me would be a part of your past. And there's that kind of control, you know, where they've stopped you from pursuing yourself, is what I heard. And then with regards to the self-perception, perfectionism reading, I feel like there is something from your past that has perhaps kind of instilled this perfectionism and self-judgment. And so I feel like there's something that kind of needs to be looked at there. And as to whether it's kind of serving you to keep up this past belief. Alright, Cancer. Thank you for watching, and I will see you very soon. Bye.